Hi, this is Sophia Reviews. I review movies so you don't even have to watch them. And today I'm going to review Barbie. It just came out last summer and everyone loved it. No one thought it was divisive. No one thought it was too woke or not woke enough. It was just the Goldie. I'm kidding. Everyone hated it. And that's because it made a lot of money. And that's just kind of how it goes. But I loved it and I'm going to review it and I'm going to give it two big toes up, which you're not going to see, but just imagine them. The film opens with a parody of 2001: A Space Odyssey. Why not a parody of Clockwork Orange or The Shining, or Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb? Who's to say? Then the narrator tells you Barbies think they solve sexism, racism, the console wars, debate over the coolest Ghostbuster, the best Joker, the definitive way to say GIF, the meaning of life, and how to hold a pizza. Barbie then goes about her morning, getting out of bed, waving to her friends because her house has no walls, putting on her fuzzy pink high heel slippers, taking a water-free shower, pretending her mirror works, sliding over a spiraling pink slide, walking over a pool of plastic water, pretending to eat breakfast, all while listening to Lizzo's song Pink. They show the Barbie land as a woman of color as president, and as they show her, Lizzo sings Black Barbie President, which I take to mean, hey, look at her, breaking that glass ceiling. Will she simply be seen as her race, gender, and job title? Probably by some. A lot of people are stupid. Barbie goes to the beach and waves at like 100 different Barbies and Kens, and also Alan, not to mention the mermaids. The waves are plastic and never move. Ryan Gosling plays Ken, and his job is beach, not lifeguard beach. He tries to beach off another Ken played by Simu Liu. He tells the other Ken that he's going to beach him off with no lube. Then Simu tells Ryan he's going to beach him off with extra lube, nice and slippery. Then Ryan tells Simu he's going to beach him off over and over till he can't beach for a week. Simu tells Ryan he's going to beach him off on a plane, Mile High Beach Club. Then Ryan says, speaking of clubs, he's going to put on the Breakfast Club, and just when Simu gets really into it, he's going to beach him off real good. Simu says Netflix and beach, eh? Well, he's going to put on the Quiet Place and start beaching Ryan. If he makes noise, he's going to get ball gagged. Ryan says ball, eh? He's going to put on a league of their own and set up a baseball diamond and hit a home run. When he slides to home base, he's going to give Simu a sliding beach off. Simu says enough Netflix and beach. He's going to beach Ryan in the opposite of a beach, a desert. He'll to waste his beach off. Ryan counters by threatening to give Simu the infamous cactus beach off, the prickliest beach off of them all. Simu says, I will finish this. I will give you the one beach off to rule them all, the golem. Ryan will be Simu's precious. Ryan will be hidden away in a dank cave and protected at all costs. He'll be Simu's most prized possession. No one will ever take Ryan away from Simu, and they'll be staying together in that cave forever. And just as they're about to beach each other off to completion, Margot Robbie Barbie says no one's going to beach anybody off. The kid doesn't have junk, so I know how they would beach each other off. They could use toys, but I don't know if Barbie Land has the kind of toys they would need for a beach off. Hari Nef is the DJ at Barbie's nightly girls' night party. She's trans, so she didn't know while watching the film. I only found out later on. I say that as a neutral statement. At the party, the Barbies dance, and then also Ken's dance, but more of like backup dancers. Margot says it's the best day ever, and every day is the best day ever from here until forever. And she asks, you guys ever think about dying, and the record scratches and everyone stares? Like, such a question is so far outside the Overton window of this pretty pink plastic utopia. Ken wants to boink Barbie. Barbie says, how can we boink? It's girls' night, and also, what's boinking? Ken says, I don't know what boinking is, but I still wanna. Also, every night's girls' night. Ken is never gonna get laid. Not only does he have no genitals or concept of sex, his not-girlfriend Barbie only wants to party with her girl pals. All of Barbie Land seems to be asexual and aromantic because they're plastic dolls. You don't have to be a plastic doll to have no desire for sex, but it sure helps. Back at the beach the next day, Barbie has flat feet. They used to be tip-toe tootsies, but no more. All the Barbies dry heave at the thought of it. She's told she's malfunctioning and has to visit weird Barbie, who used to be pretty, but then she was abused by her owner, is now faded into an eternity of making other Barbies perfect while falling more and more into disrepair herself. And everyone calls her Weird Barbie behind her back and also to her face. Weird Barbie explains that there is a connection between Barbie and her owner in the real world, and Barbie must set things right, that she can know the truth of the universe and go on a quest of self-discovery. Like a dungeon master whose player won't buy into her quest, Weird Barbie, played by the brilliant Kate McKinnon, scolds Margot Barbeau for not wanting to go on her lady hero's journey, being all reluctant about it. Barbie takes off to the human world and Ken talks his way into going along. I told you there'd be a beach, Ken says as they roller skate. Barbie feels self-conscious and Ken feels admired. Barbie wants to find girl power at a construction site, but the construction workers are men and they all catcall her. Barbie informs them that she does not have a vagina, and Ken does not have a penis, and they do not have genitals. The construction workers tell him that's okay. These construction workers are from the past and the future at the same time, simultaneously red-pilled and woke. Barbie gets smacked in the ass, and she punches her assailant in the face. Barbie and Ken get arrested and decide to wear different clothes. They walk out of the store in cowboy clothes. Barbie's are pink and Ken's are black, and they look so gay. They get arrested again for not paying for the clothes. Barbie tells Ken to walk away so she can think, and Ken notices a big building run by men. A gym where men work out. A Hummer driven by men, cops riding horses, businessmen in black suits. And Ken thinks to himself, why should I be a beta-cuck blue state baby boy when I could eat raw red meat while watching live-action G.I. Joe films, shooting endangered species, and duking it out in the octagon? Will Ferrell is running a board meeting, and they are so bored hearing him talk. No, it's bored with an A. It's in a room full of white men making decisions for the rest of us. Something, something, white supremacist patriarchy, something, something, penis. As he plays the CEO of Mattel, he learns that Barbie has broken free of Barbie Land into the real world, and the CEO wants to keep it under wraps. When asked about the logistics of Barbie Land, he explains that Barbie Land is like a town in Sweden, and he says that Barbie needs to get back in the box. Barbie uses her psychic detective powers to track down Sasha, played by Ariana Greenblatt. She finds her and Sasha goes off on her. This film is a satire of white feminism that some leftists claim is in favor of white feminism. But scenes like this, with a woman of color ranting and raving about what a failure of capitalist feminism Barbie is and calling her a fascist, sort of fly in the face of this false narrative. Ken tells a woman he meets he thinks patriarchy is when men and horses run everything and have gay sex with each other constantly. That's right, patriarchal horses are male and gay, and they love to bone the red state booty of log cabin Republicans. He goes to a business and asks for a high-level, high-paying job with influence. He is told he needs a college degree or 5. Ken says they are not doing patriarchy well, and the businessman says no, they are. They're just hiding it better now. He goes to a hospital and is shot down there too, because yet again he has no education, so he goes to the beach, where he learns that lifeguard is more than just beach, and it has its own skill set, a third skill set he does not have. Ken decides to go back to Barbie Land and reboot patriarchy. Reboots are always better, right? Right? Barbie is spirited away to Mattel, where she learns that it's a boys' club, and I was a bit surprised at how much this film makes fun of Mattel. A little shocked that they signed off on this one. She runs and recreates the part of the Matrix where the character who leaves Plato's cave meets a wise woman who explains the nature of the simulation called existence. Ruth, Barbie's inventor, played by the delightful Rhea Perlman. Okay, despite the similarity between those scenes, Ruth doesn't really explain much of anything. They have a cup of tea and Barbie continues her escape. Speed Drive by Charlie XCX plays, and Barbie is driven away by Sasha's mother Gloria, played by America Ferrera. Gloria works at Mattel and has been making some odd Barbie dolls recently, dolls which tie into Margot's awakening as a death-fearing real girl. Her Geppetto puts the pedal to the metal and they get away. There is a travel montage where Margot, Gloria, and Sasha make their way to Barbie Land. Margot and Gloria sing a song, and Sasha is too young to know what the song they're singing is. Cut to the Mattel CEO who realizes they have crossed over to Barbie Land, and he tells his minions to find their way to Barbie Land as well. Man I Am by Sam Smith plays as Margot sees the current state of Barbie Land. Basically, it's Kinland now. People are playing volleyball and high-fiving as the president serves them brewski beers and says her new role as beach wench is so much more fun than president. Then Margot sees a Mount Rushmore of horses where Mount Barbie Rushmore used to be. And finally drives up to her house. Sasha asks, where do the Kens stay? Margot says she doesn't know. Ken says at first he thought the world was run by men, then for a minute he thought it was run by horses, and then he realized horses are just men extenders like toupees, high-heeled cowboy boots, or game genies. Barbie sees Ken living in her house, which has been refurnished into a man cave out of an 80s movie. In his fuzzy white faux fur coat, she asks, what have you done? What are you wearing? Ken says, don't question it, just roll with it, tiny baby. Barbie says, don't call me baby. Ken says, what about mini baby, like this mini fridge? He says that Barbie's dream house is now Ken's Mojo Dojo Casa house. Ken says, look, I'm just having some brewski beers in my Mojo Dojo Casa house. He tells Margot she can stay if she wants as his bride wife or his long-term, low-commitment, distance girlfriend. He says, what do you say, brewski beer me? And Barbie says, I will not brewski beer you. Ken says in the real world he needed to have a brain, a heart, and some nerve to make it as a man, but in Kenland he's just a dude and that's enough. On TV, Ken is awarded the Nobel Prize in horses. This is a film about how shitty women have it, but it also makes you feel bad for Ken. In the real world, Ken's male privilege would give him an easy ride, but in Barbie Land, he's not even a person. Men get treated even worse in Barbie Land than women do in the real world, so you feel bad for Ken. This film gives men a taste of their own medicine. Not only does the disenfranchisement of Ken represent the disenfranchisement of women in the real world, it's also a way for the male audience to relate to the message of equality. By painting the actual picture in reverse, men can relate and maybe even learn something about what it's like to be a woman. Or just walk away saying the film's not for them, but they really like Ken. In any case, it's a cool role that makes the film better and kind of gives it some mass appeal. I also think it reminds you a lot of trans women in their egg phase, performing masculinity in a very extroverted and artificially exaggerated way while feeling empty inside. And I'm just kidding, an upcoming music number is easily the standout scene of the film. Ken really does steal the show in this one. He's the funniest, most charming character. He's a villain, sure, but he's not violent. He doesn't go around beating up the Barbies or forcing them into anything. He's more of a patriarchy snake oil salesman, tricking the women through the sheer velocity of his risen confidence. That they want to serve the patriarchy, want to serve men, want to serve the Kens. As scummy as he is a dummy, just a big silly head going through his red pill incel phase, trying to make heads or tails of the world around him. If Barbie left Plato's cave only to come back wiser, Ken left only to come back with an even smaller view of his surroundings. It is up to Barbie to save the day. Gloria gives her a pep talk, Sasha calls her white savior Barbie, and Margot says no, it is Gloria who taught me everything I know. I am merely her instrument. Is this moment of humility enough to make Barbie not a white savior, where half the Barbies and Kens are white, so Margot may be a savior and she may be white, but she's not a white savior. This is an Avatar. The Barbies plot to overthrow the Kens by seducing them, only to make them jealous of each other by not being one kin Barbies. They plan to grab some popcorn and watch Rome burn. The Kens have a beach off while singing I'm Just Ken, and I won't play-by-play this WrestleMania moment. Just watch the film for yourself, but this is a damn good song and funny and enough. You are hot when you're in your feelings, Ken. Barbie tells Ken it's time for him to discover who Ken is, and Ken says he looks stupid, and Simu Liu says, nah, you look cool. Barbie is like, look, Barbie's not define Ken. They're their own people. They define themselves. Damn, I love this movie. The CEO of Mattel offers to make things go back to the way they were, and President Barbie says no. Things ought to change. A Ken asks for a Ken to be a Supreme Court justice, and President Barbie says, nah, we never had a U.S. lady president, and half the country calls a film starring a woman woke, because vaginas are woke, apparently, so you don't get shit. Barbie Land is a twisted Twilight Zone nightmare where men sleep on the streets and are used as footstools and life-size sex toys. Barbie tells Ruth she wants to be a human, and Ruth gives the Wizard of Oz was in you the whole time speech. Hey, this film is a reverse Wizard of Oz. You start in Oz, wind up in the real world, go back to Oz, and then go back to the real world. So, I guess there's one extra step at the end, the return to Oz. Ryan says, ball, eh? He's gonna put on a league of their own and set up a baseball diamond, and he's... Simu says he will finish this. He will give Ryan the one beach off to rule them all, the Golem. Ryan will be hidden away in a dark cave and protected at all costs. He'll be Simu's most prized possession and will ever take Ryan away.